Hao Sawadee Konka. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It is the start of the new year, so what do we have to do? We have to admit to our wrongs. I am doing the Guilty Language Learner tag. Apparently this was done originally by Ophelia Vert. Now, I don't know if she pronounces it like that. I apologise if that's mispronounced. I am going to be answering the 5 Guilty Language Learner tag questions. Number 1, which language do you never make time for? 100% hands down Chinese. I am going to, because well, yes. I did have a double where I wanted to learn Spanish at one point and then I really just gave up with that. I was like, no. So it's 100% Chinese, and the reason why is I think because Thai is so new, I'm like, I want to learn everything. So I'll like make time to study and sit down and learn Thai. Whereas with Chinese, I'm a bit more laissez-faire with it. In my head, I'm like, oh yeah, me watching this film is 100% making up for the fact that I have done no physical revision. When I mean, of course it's good listening practice if I was actually listening, but I'm not. I'm reading subtitles. So what am I even doing? Like, do you know? I don't. But here we are anyway. Which language do you think you'll never learn? Well, there are a lot. Like, I think I would never learn basically most languages. Because, okay, of the languages I've tried in my whole life to learn, so that would be French, Italian, Spanish, Chinese, Thai, Korean for like a day. So 6 languages I've tried to learn before. Of those, which will I never ever learn? Probably Italian. I never really got on with it to begin with. I think that was more because of the way I was learning at school and the teacher and all of that. But I feel like for me, in terms of usefulness, French would be a lot more useful in sort of career-wise and going forward-wise, like traveling and things like that. If I can pick 2, I'm gonna pick French and Italian. I just didn't get on with them. I think it's a lot of just PTSD from learning in school. But when I hear the languages and I hear other people speaking them, because I know people who are fluent in both, and I'm like,
wow, you're so cool. I want to be like that.
And they're like, oh yeah, just do. I'm like,
no. Let's not be hasty. I said I'd like to, not that I will be.
What is my most valuable and my least valuable language-related investment? My most expensive and valuable would probably be Tandem. And the reason why I say Tandem is my most valuable expensive investment, I think about 7 or 8 of my friends, who obviously are Chinese/Thai, came from Tandem, and some of them I only met because I had a premium account. That has been my most valuable expense because I was able to meet these people through this app after not after paying, some of them was on the free version, but some were because I had paid for the app. And it's through meeting them I've been able to have regular conversations with native speakers, which has really helped with my speaking and confidence.
Few moments later.
I'm changing that answer. I'm gonna say Tandem is my least expensive but most valuable, because Tandem, it was mainly on the free side that I got my friends. My most expensive but least valuable experience was taking evening classes. Oh my gosh, I do not even want to think about how much money I wasted. I wasted serious coinage. I am still not over the fact that I wasted that much money, but that was my most expensive and least valuable. Honestly, anyone watching this, do not do evening classes. Get an online tutor. Use sites like italki. That's the only one I know, so I can't recommend any others. But definitely get an online tutor. It is much cheaper. It is one-to-one. You don't have to worry about anyone else in the class. You definitely get more out of doing that than going to an evening class or like a weekend class. Unless, I mean, maybe that's how you like to learn. But for me personally, I would highly recommend against doing that and instead doing a one-to-one. Number 4, what is a lie you tell to non-language learners to get them to learn a language? I don't know if it's a lie or more of like a delayed admission, Because I think the one thing I always say is it's not that hard. It's not as hard as you think. For example, I have people in my life who will be like, I can't believe you're learning Chinese and Thai. That seems so hard. I really would love to learn this language, but I just don't know where to start. And then I'm always like,
Oh, but it's not that hard. Don't worry. You can do it. Just start. You just have to start. It's nowhere near as hard as you think.
but I think that's because I'm very good at like prepping someone and like, not prepping. What am I doing? Cooking them? I'm really good at pepping someone up and like raising morale and saying, you've got this, motivation. The reason why I always say it's not as hard as you think is because if you stick at it, you'll be 1, 2, 3 months, years, whatever, down the road, and you'll look back and you'll be like, wow, that wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. Your brain forgets and you've done it and you're like, I look at where I am now. So yes, it's hard. Yes, I will tell you it's not as hard as you think, but just know I am doing it because I want you to start learning the language. Number 5, what is your language learning guilty pleasure? Now I feel like anyone who has watched my videos is gonna know my answer. Movies and TV shows, that is all I do. Like I said in question 1, I will just put on a Chinese film or a Thai film and sit there and be like,
This is me studying, guys. Please respect my study space.
when really I'm just binge watching a show. Like for example, right now I am binge watching a Chinese drama, and just know that in the back of my head I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait to go back and watch that. Binge watching anything is where I am. That is me, okay? So that is my guilty pleasure. Why don't you guys drop down below? I'll write the questions in the description box so you can see them. Write your answers to these 5 questions. Be honest, guys. Be honest, okay? Like I was honest. Let's all be honest here. That brings me to the end of the Guilty Language Learner tag. As always, smash that subscribe button, and as it brings us to the end of the video, have a blessed day. And until next time, 再见, sawadee tuk kong ka. Goodbye, everyone.